Folks, welcome back to, I was going to say Barstools and Band Talk. It's brought to you by Barstools and Band Talk. Rimshots with Sean. We have Nicole Belfontaine, 92.9 FM, Jack, and alumni of Prince Andrew High School, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But just before we end that segment, you talk about mental health. So I would never accuse myself of being one of these warm, fuzzy people that, coming, I'll give you a hug. And I mean, that's just not me. That's not the way I've made up. However, sometimes I'm okay if somebody's got a problem at listening to them and trying to offer a solution. Might not be the best solution. Sometimes I'm not qualified to do it. But just the very fact that somebody, I guess, thinks enough of me to go, I'm having a problem, can you talk to me about it, is pretty cool.
Sure.
Why do you think even now people view it as weak to talk about that stuff?
Because the patriarchy is still running the show,
Okay, fair enough.
right? Like we are still a society that values strength and silent types, and that baggage that was instilled upon us from the boomers who got it from the silent generation. And
Yep.
we are Gen X, and Gen X was raised to be hyper independent, not ask for help. Your emotions don't matter. Be quiet. We are a generation that is, of all the generations, most profoundly affected by this because, we see the younger generations and they have the permission to examine their emotions, but it's, we are fiercely independent, fiercely guarded and protected because we had to be. And I'm not alone. I see this all the time. I mean, I think that, it speaks further to the disconnect that we have, right? At some point, you have to own up your own, take care of yourself, and not give a shit about whether or not people accept you as you are or not. You will lose people in the process. I could tell you categorically, you will lose people. I know I've not hidden the fact that I kind of went through like a really rough patch. And then on the other side, it was like, oh my God, I'm learning to let go of the shit that does not serve me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But most of us have to do it in the roughest way possible, unfortunately. So why is it still a thing? It's because old habits are hard to break. We are so accustomed to feeling miserable that we would rather a familiar miserable than a grain of hope that might lead us to heartbreak. Well, the reality is that we're going to have heartbreak anyway. So why not be hopeful? Why not let go of the past and not obsess about the future and be more present? Like we just need to be more present. Humanity just needs to be more present and grateful. It's not rocket science, really. I mean, there is science, but
It's a great point. I think it was December 3rd. I was kind of frustrated with some things and some people, and I just said, you know what? I'm going to get through this month. We had a New Year's Eve show. I'm going to get through the New Year's Eve show, and the next day I'm going to look at everything that's been kind of not working for me and everything that's kind of been annoying me. And I went and I immediately cut it the next day. And within 2 weeks, I started looking at the results, and there's a whole bunch of really cool things that happened that I wasn't aware of. So I was maybe still focused on, oh, I don't have this or that's not working. But when I step back, I'm like, whoa, there's some very cool things that are taking place that I may be taking for granted. My personal opinion is people don't take enough time to kind of say, hey, what's working? They just want to figure out what they don't have.
people want other people to change or circumstances to change. And they think if I lose 30 pounds, if I get $4,000, or if I get that job, or what freaking ever, right? If I find the love of my life, they think all of these things are going to make them happy. And it's not what's going to make you happy. What makes you happy is learning to love yourself and settle within yourself and embrace your own imperfections. Dare yourself, like I literally went, oh my God, I'm not the happy person that I think I am. I'm delusional in thinking that I am, and face your darkness. And then if you're able to kind of go, okay, I'm expecting other people to fill in the gaps for me, or other situations, or this person, if I could only get this or this experience or whatever, or this acknowledgement, right? A lot of us want to be acknowledged, especially in the entertainment field. We want that validation. I think the validation, because that validation does not matter.
Right.
It does not matter. It matters not. These award shows and putting people on pedestal stuff, we have to stop doing that as a culture, because like that's just nonsense. It just creates that divide. and it makes you feel alone and like you're not enough. You are enough the moment you open your eyes. You're already enough. So what you do with your energy and your time and your attention and where you place it, that's on you. It's not on other people. Other people are not here to make you happy. That's your job. That's your job to make you happy.
So, and I'll say this to you. So when I interviewed you the first time, I mean, I didn't know you at all, other than the fact that I knew you from the radio, and I knew you from being a fellow PA alumni. And you and I have become very good friends. And one of the things I will tell you, from the time I met you then till the time I met you now, your sense of humor is still there. There's no question. I mean, like the last time that I saw you in person, you said some. I won't even repeat it because it doesn't matter. But you went on this. It was I'll call it a bit. You know what I'm talking about. And I was eating a chicken wing and I almost choked on it, and it was funny as heck.
Yeah.
But you still have that sense of humor. But the one thing that I noticed about you, that's a lot different. You had a bit of an anxious quality that I don't see there now. Like you don't seem as anxious.
No,
You're just like,
I'm not afraid of anything.
this is me.
I'm not afraid of anything. I am, no, it's wonderful. I don't have that. I'm not here to prove anything to anybody. I'm only here to do what's best for me every day. And in doing so, I bring other people with me. Right. Like I'm
Love it.
never ever I think sometimes, especially as women, we are taught to believe that you should be giving to other people all the time. And some people, and I'm not saying just women, but the society and the patriarchal society very much pushes that on women. Right. And that we should not be selfish for our own needs. I'm 100% all about me now and making me happy, because I'm never going to be so focused on my needs that I'm not still going to be sensitive to the needs of others. You know what I mean?
I
So it's
do.
okay
100%.
to
Yeah.
pursue your own happiness and
Yeah.
things that fill you up. I mean, then you're much more nice to be around. People like you when you're being authentic, when you're being sincere, when you're being kind, and when you're being good to yourself. When you are good to yourself, people look at you differently. I'm not the same person, Sean, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not even remotely the person that you met. I'm still going to have that sense of humor because,
Well, yeah. And I mean, it's funny because you and I have this, like, I mean, you say a joke and sometimes I'm like, the whole table's going, I didn't get it, and I get it immediately. It's like, oh my God. And you know what? And that's kind of, but I think it's important obviously you want to grow and you don't want to be the same person, but you always got people like, hey, come back into the crab pot. And it's like just important to go like, hey, you know what? To what you said, I'm doing my own thing, man. And if you like it, great. If you don't, see you down the road.
if you're having a conversation with somebody and they're bitching, get out of the conversation. Get out of the conversation. There's no time in life to bitch. I allow myself 3 seconds of bitching a day. That's it. And even then, I don't necessarily use up that quota, but it serves nothing. We like to beat stuff to death. We like to, oh, I was really, whatever, like living in the past. Man, I'm telling you, like, why would you, what's done is done. There's no amount of evaluation of the past and disseminating and breaking it down and looking over it all the way somebody hurt you or situations where you weren't treated fairly. We've all had those moments.
Mm-hmm.
But every time you go back, you are pulling yourself from the present and you are re-traumatizing yourself. Like, why would you do that? Why? Because it's not going to fit. And the person that has this thing with you that you're hurt by, or the situation, you feel mistreated, they've moved on. So you're the only one in the weeds trying to figure out why it went wrong. It's like, it doesn't matter. Some people are just dead. Some people are just assholes. Accept that and move on. And they could be family. They could be friends. They could be coworkers. They walk among us.
Yeah, they do.
Our
And they're
job
right
is
there.
to just avoid them.
Sometimes they're out there and sometimes they're hidden. And Tony Soprano said it best: remember when is the lowest form of conversation. So, as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned, right?
Yeah.
So we had mental health 10 minutes there, and I think that was important because there's no two people that I think can be sometimes less focused than you and I, or try to be focused, and it's not on purpose. But you got a lot coming up. Obviously, I wanted to dispel something. I dispelled it last time. And this is for all the people who didn't see the first interview. Nicole Belfontaine only works 3 hours a day. She's got the best job in the world. She only comes in and goes in the afternoon and gets to go home and gets to do all kinds of cool stuff. And you would say,
I would say that's lovely that I am bringing to you such light energy that you have no idea that this is what my day actually is filled with. Can you see? Can you see the stacks of paper right there and the stuff
and
on
you've
my
been there
board?
probably, what time did you arrive today?
Oh, I was here at Well, a little bit later today, I was here at 10 to 10
Okay.
because I had a
But you
meeting.
don't go on
It's
the air
busy
until
all the time. I'm not on the air till 3, but I'm doing promotion stuff.
right.
I'm very, very busy. Busy with the ECMAs. We've got the North American Indigenous Games coming up. We've got lots of contests and promotions on the air. It's a lot. There's a lot going on. I'm busy. Busy. Great. I love it.
But here's just one. I guess we'll call it one last little thing about being a pro and doing the right thing. You're getting a lot of other opportunities besides your gig because of
Mm-hmm.
what you do. But you're a pro and people like your personality. And anybody that I've talked to, I mean, I certainly know it. I've worked with you in different things, but everybody I talk to says Nicole shows up. She's on time. She's professional. She doesn't embarrass anybody. She does what she's supposed to do, and boom. So I mean, that's got to be cool as well.
Uh, and I'm effective,
I would
right?
totally agree.
I need to be, being fun and joyful and playful and sounding like I don't have a clue what's going on often on the air does not necessarily mean that I'm not highly effective. Being effective matters. The difference between the old Nicole that you met before and this one is that I prioritize my downtime, so that makes me more creative in my work time. I'm not willing to sacrifice all of my time for work, and because I'm a workaholic by nature. So I'm learning really well to get that balance, and I think that that's really important too. And again, it goes back to I work on my mental health every day. Like there's never a day I don't work on it. I am 100%. And it just gets easier. The more you do it, the easier it gets. The less you have these refractory periods of misery or frustration or loneliness. I don't have those very much anymore because I know how to move past them. And I want that for everyone. If there's any message I could say, it's just, you can do this. You can move past whatever this moment is. It feels like it's dragging you under the tide. This is not a definition of who you are. It's just where you are right now.
I want to throw something at you, and there's no right or wrong answer, but we're doing this alumni show April 1st, and we're billing it Goodbye to PA, and that was actually, if anybody knows Prince Andrew High School,
Yeah.
it was actually suggested by somebody at the board who I was talking to
Oh,
do
okay. Yeah.
it that way. And my first thought was, well, hey, there it is right there, right? My first thought was I didn't know if there was going to be any backlash, but she was like, no, you know what? The name is now
I think
changed.
it's a good idea.
Well, and nobody's had a proper way to say goodbye to the school. I mean, if you're like me now, look, I watched that documentary on and maybe not so much before, but now it's like, yeah, you don't really want anything associated with that. But it was PA to me, it's probably PA to you, and to be able to get in a room with
It
a
will be
bunch of
PA
people
for
that
your
do it,
personal reference.
right?
Yes, for
And
sure.
just
It's
give it
okay.
the proper send off and say, boom. What are
It's
your
time
thoughts
for
on
us
that?
to stop naming places and spaces and stuff after old white guys. Like it's like, or anyone in general. Like my mother and I had this conversation. She was like so upset about all the things, all the monuments and statues were being toppled one day in Montreal, in the heights when all that was stuff was happening during the height of Black Lives Matter, 2020. And she's like, well, this seems wrong. And I'm like, it seems wrong that they were ever there in the first place. Actually, what are we doing? Memorializing these people. Like, well, he was a rich, entitled, freaking little royal brat. Like, why would they name a high school? Again, example of something that no longer serves us. It's just not that culture anymore. It's okay. Let's name them after a street. I hope Woodlawn's not inflammatory.
Right.
But I'm all for it. Like, I don't give a crap. It'll be PA for me and my friends. But going forward, it's Woodlawn High School. It's a new era. So what? Favor. Stop again. Stop clinging to the past.
Right. Well, there's a garbage can, but down by Woodlawn United Church, I was hoping to have named after this old white guy because he used to play a lot of pond hockey down there, but probably won't happen.
Right.
But I was kind of like,
you know what I'm saying.
What's that?
You know what I'm getting at, though.
100%. And so initially I was like, I don't know, but you know what? The feedback's been great. What a way to sort of say bye to, because I got a 16-year-old son that's still going to Woodlawn High.
No.
He sees my picture up there when I graduated from, I won't tell you what year I graduated, but so the vibe's still the same. I've been in the school. It's still a great building. I walked into that auditorium. You remember the assemblies used to have in there. It's just, I walked in. That's where my musical career started. I got signed by an agent in that room. So I'm excited about this event. I'm hoping that you're going to be there.
Oh, listen, the picture that I showed you is actually one that was shared in our group chat. We call it the Dartmouth Gang, and it's a bunch of gals that we went to elementary, junior high, and high school together. And they brought it, like Tracy brought it to the crowd. You know, Tracy, she brought it to the group chat, and I was like, oh, you know, because sure, why not? This is great. I love this. I don't
want to put you on the spot in front of an interview, but can we get you to introduce us when we go on?
Absolutely. My pleasure. Yeah. I'll be honking the crap. I'll be promoting it shortly. Right?
And I think it'll be a fun night. I think that, you know, it'll be one of those things where, hey, it's got to be done, then it's over. And then next day everybody wakes up and it's Woodlawn High and we've done our part and life goes on.
That's right. That's right. You know, I like it because it doesn't matter what year you went to PA. If you want to go, you can go. Right? Like, if you're a PA alumni or whoever, it's going to be a great night. And of course, the music you guys perform is perfect for this event. Like, perfect.
Well, and we partner with good old Tom down at Renegade Records, and we're going to work with him on some cool stuff because you go down there, and I mean, like, you know me, right? Like, I'm not like a new music guy, and I went there a couple of weeks ago, and you know, you can see the stack here, but I got Aerosmith and Styx and Iron Maiden and all cool vinyl, right? So it'll be a lot of fun. Look. Here's my last thing because you know what, we're such a highfalutin production here that we're still on the free Zoom and I've got about 6 minutes left before we cut off. So you got the ECMAs coming up, you get the Indigenous Games, you have your job, you have, you know, a bunch of stuff. What's going to be? Where are you going to find your downtime? When are you taking a vacation? You going to do anything fun this year, vacation wise?
Giganticus and I were hoping to go away this winter because I literally haven't been outside Nova Scotia since November 2015. Like, I'm so overdue, but he's in the middle of a bathroom renovation and we can't leave. So that's been scrapped, but we gotta go hit the road at some point and get out and just take a breather. But, you know, I like being here. There's a lot going on. There's so much going on this year, at least this summer, spring and summer. So, you know, there's not really any reason for it. Do you have plans?
Well, you know, it's tough because like everything opened up and now all of a sudden it's like, you know, I'm playing every weekend. Now we're doing some festivals and stuff in the summertime and you can hang out there. I'm actually hoping to take in, there's a really cool podcast festival that's taking place next year down in Nashville that I would love to go to. I've actually been invited. So hopefully I'll get to do that. That's pretty cool. So we'll see.
I think every musician, songwriter should go to Nashville. It is the mecca for performers. It doesn't matter what genre you're in. It's like, there's something about that city. I don't know a single person in the entertainment industry, even people I know that are in radio that have gone down, that have not absolutely loved Nashville. I'm not a big fan of the States right now, spending my money down there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Nashville, that would be a hard one to turn up.
Yeah. Oh, I do actually, I have the opportunity. I'm going to be, the other band, The Frequency, is doing a wedding in Dublin, Ireland in August, which will be pretty fun.
No way.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty fun. More on that as it unwinds. But look, I want to thank you for doing this, young lady. It's always a pleasure. We got to hang out soon. I haven't seen, well, I'll probably see you on the weekend because I think you're going to come to the show.
Absolutely.
And we're going to do something a little special there. So our bass player Ian's mom passed away yesterday.
Yeah.
We had a good buddy, Shane Moore, that passed away, and Tony Voot. So we're just going to we're going to dedicate the night to them. It's not going to be somber. It's going to be fun. But look forward to seeing you. And thanks for doing this.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
The wonderful, the awesome, Nicole. Later.